Once upon a time, in a small village on the edge of an enchanted forest, there lived a young girl named Scarlett, affectionately known as Little Red Riding Hood because of the vibrant red cloak her grandmother had made for her. Scarlett was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit, always eager to explore the world around her. One bright morning, Scarlett's mother called her into the kitchen. "Scarlett, your grandmother is feeling ill. I've prepared a basket of food and some herbal remedies for her. Would you be a dear and take it to her cottage?" Of course, mother," Scarlett replied, putting on her red cloak and picking up the basket. "I'll go straight to Grandma's and come back before dark." Scarlett set off into the forest, following the familiar path to her grandmother's cottage. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves, and Scarlett hummed a tune as she walked. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Scarlett met various woodland creatures who greeted her warmly. There were rabbits, deer, and even a curious fox who watched her from a distance. Scarlett enjoyed the company of the animals and often stopped to chat with them. Unbeknownst to Scarlett, a cunning wolf named Reynard had been observing her from the shadows. Reynard had a reputation for being sly and deceptive, and he was always on the lookout for an easy meal. Reynard approached Scarlett with a charming smile. "A good day, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you off to on this fine morning?" "I'm going to my grandmother's cottage to bring her some food and medicine," Scarlett replied, unaware of the danger lurking behind Reynard's friendly facade. "How thoughtful of you," Reynard said, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "But the path you're on is quite long and winding. I know a shortcut that will get you there much faster." Scarlett hesitated for a moment, then decided to trust the wolf. "Thank you, Mr. Wolf. I appreciate your help." Reynard led Scarlett down a narrow, overgrown path that twisted and turned through the heart of the forest. Scarlett marveled at the beauty of the untamed wilderness, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Meanwhile, Reynard devised a plan. He would take a different route to reach Grandma's cottage before Scarlett, disguise himself as her grandmother, and then capture both Scarlett and her grandmother. As Scarlett continued on the shortcut, she noticed a patch of beautiful wildflowers. Remembering how much her grandmother loved flowers, she decided to pick a bouquet. She strayed from the path, gathering the vibrant blooms, unaware that Reynard was speeding ahead to her grandmother's cottage. Reynard arrived at the cottage and knocked on the door. Grandma, who was feeling weak, called out, "Who is it?" "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," Reynard replied, mimicking Scarlett's voice. "I've brought you some food and medicine." Grandma, sensing something was wrong, tried to get up, but Reynard burst through the door and locked her in a closet. He quickly put on one of Grandma's nightgowns and a sleeping cap, then slipped into her bed, pulling the covers up to his chin. Scarlett finally arrived at the cottage, her basket full of goodies and a bouquet of wildflowers in her hand. She knocked on the door. "Grandma, it's me, Scarlett." "Come in, my dear," Reynard called out, disguising his voice. Scarlett entered the cottage and approached the bed. "Grandma, I brought you some food and medicine. And look, I picked some flowers for you." Thank you, my dear," Reynard said, trying to sound as grandmotherly as possible. Come closer so I can see you better." Scarlett stepped closer, but something seemed off. "Grandma, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear," Reynard replied. "And Grandma, what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my dear." "But Grandma, what big teeth you have." Scarlett exclaimed, finally realizing the truth. "The better to eat you with, my dear." Reynard roared, throwing off the covers and lunging at Scarlett. Just as Reynard was about to pounce on Scarlett, the door burst open, and a tall, strong figure stood in the doorway. It was Stephen, the village woodcutter, who had been passing by and heard the commotion. "Get away from her, you vile creature!" Stephen shouted, wielding his axe. Reynard, startled by the sudden appearance of the woodcutter, snarled and backed away. Stephen lunged at the wolf, and after a fierce struggle, managed to subdue him. Reynard, realizing he was defeated, fled into the forest, never to be seen again. Scarlett, trembling with relief, hugged Stephen. "Thank you, Stephen. You saved my life." "It's all right, Scarlett. Let's get your grandmother out of the closet." They freed Grandma, who was shaken but unharmed. Scarlett gave her the food, medicine, and flowers, and they all sat together, grateful for the happy ending. After the excitement had died down, Stephen, Scarlett, and Grandma sat by the fire, sipping tea. Grandma turned to Scarlett with a gentle smile. My dear, you must be more careful in the forest. Not everyone is as kind as they seem." "I understand, Grandma," Scarlett said, nodding. "I'll be more cautious from now on." Stephen added, "And remember, Scarlett, you can always ask for help if you're unsure. There are many good people in the village who care about you." Scarlett smiled, feeling the warmth of their love and concern. She knew she had learned a valuable lesson about trust and caution. The villagers welcomed Scarlett and her grandmother back with open arms, celebrating their safe return. The tale of Little Red Riding Hood, her brave encounter with the wolf, and the timely rescue by the woodcutter became a legend in the village. Children and adults alike told and retold the story, each time reminding themselves of the importance of wisdom, courage, and kindness. Scarlett continued to visit her grandmother regularly, but she always stayed on the main path and made sure to let others know where she was going. Her adventures became more careful, yet her love for the forest and its creatures never waned. Years passed, and Scarlett grew up, but she never forgot the lessons she learned that fateful day. She became a wise and compassionate woman, known for her bravery and her red cloak, which she continued to wear with pride. The forest remained a place of wonder and mystery, but thanks to Scarlett's vigilance and the villagers' newfound caution, it also remained a safe place for all who ventured within. And so the story of Little Red Riding Hood lived on, a timeless reminder of the power of love, bravery, and the importance of always staying on the right path.